Hey, everybody, this is TJR. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today is Sunday, August 6th, 2023. I have been hard at work today on a video essay that I hope to post here to the channel in a couple weeks. It is a video essay about the Beatles movie Yellow Submarine. The movie is 55 years old this year, and I wanted to say a few words about the film, my personal experiences with the film, but also the film's legacy. And so I was working on the script, which is the key thing whenever I make a video. The rest to me is easy. The script is always the hardest part. And I was trying to find the words to describe a specific scene from the film. I'm referring to the Eleanor Rigby scene that's very early in the film. And I felt kind of stuck. And sometimes when I am stuck like this, I will use AI, specifically ChatGPT, to help kind of maybe fire up the creative juices, to help give me some suggestions, and to help me with, sentences or paragraphs I've written that I feel are kind of awkward. So I fired up ChatGPT and I just simply wrote, describe the Eleanor Rigby scene in the Beatles movie Yellow Submarine. What it spit back at me, I have to admit, was kind of startling. I want to read this to you here. In the Beatles movie Yellow Submarine, the Eleanor Rigby scene is a poignant and emotionally charged segment that stands out as a defining moment in the film. This scene showcases the beauty of storytelling through animation and the seamless integration of music and visuals to evoke powerful emotions. Now, I will be the first one to say that, yeah, that scene is very powerful. This is not what I asked to do, number one, but I also have to say this is something that I see, or something I get from ChatGPT all the time, is a lot of flowery language, a lot of overblown language. Basically, in my opinion, a lot of verbal BS, trying to act deep and profound, but really saying not much of anything, in my opinion. But I'm used to that with ChatGPT. Now, the next paragraph is where it gets kind of interesting. Let me read this to you here. The scene begins with the film's protagonist, young Fred, exploring the deserted, colorless streets of Pepperland. As he walks through the desolate landscape, he stumbles upon a series of statues that depict various characters from the Beatles' songs, including Father Mackenzie and Eleanor Rigby. These statues serve as a visual representation of the song's lyrics and give life to the narrative. Now, if you know the film, you know as well as I that the Eleanor Rigby scene is nothing like this. First of all, it's not young Fred, it's old Fred at this point. The submarine is flying through Liverpool. He is not walking through the streets of Pepperland in this part of the story. I can see where maybe the AI is confused and thinks that's what's happening here. He describes it as a desolate landscape. There are no statues representing different Beatles songs in the film, and none of those statues come to life, certainly. Let me read the next paragraph here. As the hauntingly melancholic notes of Eleanor Rigby begin to play, the scene transitions into a heartfelt tribute to the song's character. The statue of Eleanor Rigby comes to life, and we witness her poignant story unfold through mesmerizing animation. Eleanor, a lonely figure dressed in dark clothes, moves through her isolated life, symbolizing the loneliness and isolation that many people experience in the world. The animation perfectly captures the song's themes of solitude and the yearning for human connection. The visuals portray Eleanor's daily routine, from her solitary walks through the streets to her moments of reflection at her window. The vivid imagery expresses the emotions hidden beneath the surface, and the animators managed to convey a profound sense of empathy for the character. Yes, the animation in that scene is very effective, and it is also powerfully very emotional. However, though, once again, there is no statue of Eleanor Rigby that comes to life. In fact, what the scene is portraying, again, is the Yellow Submarine, once again, flying through Liverpool. Fred is in the Yellow Submarine, though we don't see him in the scene. He's old Fred at this time. He's not young Fred until we have the When I'm 64 sequence. I'm nitpicking, yes, but come on. But it's flying through Liverpool, and as it flies through Liverpool, we see various scenes depicted in this kind of cutout animation that the film is using at this point to show various people throughout the city living lives of loneliness and isolation. This works perfectly with the song. And the animation reflects the lyrics, because the lyrics say, look at all the lonely people, where do they all come from? It's not centered on any one specific character. It's just different individuals that are seen as the submarine flies through Liverpool, living various lives of loneliness and various lives of solitude. So as I read this, I thought, the actual film is nothing like this, but this is really a rather poignant and scene that it has created, even though it's not the scene in the movie. Again, I didn't ask it to rewrite the scene. I said, please describe the scene. And I kept thinking to myself, where did it get this from? The primary source for anything that you ask AI about is obviously going to come from the internet. And then I thought about how a while back there was talk of a remake of Yellow Submarine, and not too many years ago there was some found footage, and I made a video discussing that. And what was startling about that found footage was some animatics that were created for it. One of them for the song Eleanor, Rigby, which was visually quite different from what was used in the original film. I wanted to go back and revisit that footage and make a comparison to what the AI was telling me and what was in that footage, thinking maybe it drew it from that. Unfortunately, that footage is no longer available. It's been taken down by Apple Core. In my video, I did post a few clips of that footage. So I watched my video, I looked at those scenes, and I thought, well, maybe, possibly, but still I wouldn't be 100% sure. I just thought this was very interesting, the answer it gave back to me. And something I should make very clear here is the very first time I used ChatGPT, I read all the disclaimers. And one of those disclaimers is that it tells you right out that ChatGPT can be inaccurate. In fact, it can be wildly inaccurate. And this is one of those moments, though I'll admit, in a really interesting and artistic way. Yeah. Has anyone else ever experienced this who's tried using ChatGPT for anything, where what it gave you, while not what you asked for, was still interesting just the same? Be curious to know. Has anyone read anything out there on the internet that they think ChatGPT might have drawn this from? Because aside from postings on the internet, I'm not sure where it could draw that information from. I'm not sure the movie would be available for it to draw from either. And I'm not sure how AI would actually watch a film. And maybe that's what it all comes down to. I know that the Yellow Submarine clip is available on YouTube. You can watch it. But maybe if it can view it, maybe that's how it interpreted it. Who knows? I just thought this was interesting, and I need a little break from this video. I better get back to working on this video. It's clearly not going to write itself. With or without AI, it's clearly not going to write itself. So going to have to just rely on the old noggin here for this one here. It'll all come to me eventually. Just like I said, I sometimes will use it to help me through my dry spots. Anyways, though, just thought I'd share that. Hope you're all having a great Sunday. If you have any thoughts on this, again, let me know. Thank you, patrons, for all that you do. Thank you, everybody, for clicking like. It helps this channel a great deal. And hope you all stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye-bye.